Welcome to Road Ready Recaps. Are you looking for a concise and full overview of New York Driver's Manual? You are at the right place. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Driver Licenses. Welcome to Chapter 1, your starting point for understanding how licensing works in New York State. These slides give you the need-to-know essentials so you can focus on safe driving and exam success. Types of licenses. Class D operator license is the standard permit for passenger vehicles up to 26,000 pounds GWR. Junior Class DJ allows 16 and 17-year-olds to drive with regional restrictions and supervision. Motorcycle, Class M/MJ, taxis/livery, Class E, and non-CDL-C address specialized needs such as motorcycles or for-hire vehicles. Enhanced driver licenses, EDL, and Real ID meet federal border crossing or airport security standards. Our endorsement covers large recreational or rental vehicles used for personal household moves. When you apply for your first license, submit Form MV44 with proofs totaling 6 points plus Social Security card to a DMV office. Pass a vision screening, 20/40ths in at least one eye, and a 20-question knowledge test, 14 correct including 2 sign questions. Pay the permit and license fees. Amount varies with age and birthday. Complete a DMV-approved 5-hour pre-licensing course or driver ed certificate before scheduling your road test. Your first New York license is valid up to 5 years, expiring on your birthday. The Learner Permit and Road Test. Learner Permit holders must drive with a supervising licensed driver age 21 plus in the front seat. Additional GDL limits apply to under 1/8 learners, time of day, passenger, and regional rules. Log at least 50 hours of supervised practice, 15 at night, and present Form MV262 at the road test. Bring a properly registered, insured vehicle and your permit, completion certificate, and MV262 to the test. After passing, you receive an interim license online and the photo card arrives by mail in about 2 weeks. Junior operator restrictions. No more than 1 passenger under 21 unless their immediate family or a supervising adult is present. All occupants must wear seat belts. Child passengers require proper restraints. Regional night driving limits. 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. alone, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. only with qualifying supervision or for work/school. Violations lead to 60-day suspension on first serious offense. Further offenses mean revocation. Change of address. You must notify DMV of any address change within 10 days using Form MV232 or the DMV website. Write the new address on the back of your license after you file the change. License renewal. Renew every 8 years, 5 for initial license. Before the printed expiry date, DMV mails reminders if your address is current. Vision proof within the last year is required. You can upload an eye-test form when renewing online. Real ID or enhanced credentials require an in-person visit with specific identity, lawful status, and 2 proofs of residence documents. Non-resident and new resident drivers. Visitors may drive in New York with a valid out-of-state or foreign license, but drivers under May 16th not. New residents must exchange their out-of-state license within 30 days. Vision test always required. CDL or motorcycle applicants from another country must pass written and road tests. Foreign license is surrendered or held by DMV. Chapter 1 Summary. Chapter 1 lays the foundation. Know your license options, the permit to road test pathway, and the junior driver rules. Keep your information current, renew on time, and always carry the correct license when you drive. Next up, we'll explore how to maintain your hard-earned license and stay violation-free. Chapter 2. How to keep your license. This chapter explains the rules and responsibilities that protect your driving privilege in New York State. Review these tips so points, penalties, and paperwork never put your license at risk. The point system. Most traffic convictions add 2 to 11 points to your record, depending on severity. Accumulating 11 points in an 18-month period can lead to a mandatory suspension. Cell phone and texting violations carry 5 points. Speeding 40 miles per hour over carries 11. Points are calculated from the violation date, not the conviction date. Insurance companies may also raise premiums when points accumulate. How points affect you. 6 points in 18 months triggers the Driver Responsibility Assessment, DRA, fee. The DRA is at least $300, payable over 3 years, and is separate from fines. Points can be reduced by up to 4 once every 18 months by taking a DMV-approved PRP course. Employers of commercial drivers may check point totals before assigning safety-sensitive duties. License suspension or revocation. Serious offenses like reckless driving or leaving the scene can mean immediate suspension. 3 speeding convictions in 18 months result in automatic revocation. Probationary and junior drivers face stricter thresholds. 2 moving violations can suspend a permit. Driving while suspended adds fines, surcharges, and possible jail time to your record. Driver responsibility assessment fee. Assessed when you reach 6 points, are convicted of alcohol/drug driving, or refuse a chemical test. Base fee is $100 per year plus $25 for each additional point over 6. Failure to pay on schedule causes license suspension until the balance is cleared. Alcohol and drug violations. First offense DWI can suspend your license for 90 days, more if BAC greater than or equal to 0.18 or under age 21. Zero tolerance law suspends drivers under 21 for any BAC from 0.02 to 0.07%. Mandatory ignition interlock may be required during and after some suspensions. Repeat alcohol convictions within 25 years multiply fines and extend revocation periods. Insurance lapses and penalties. A lapse of even 1 day in liability coverage can suspend your vehicle registration. DMV charges $8 per day, days 1 to 30, $10, 31 to 60, and $12, 61 to 90, to lift a suspension. Driving an uninsured vehicle carries penalties up to $1,500 and a 1-year revocation. Keeping your record current. Notify DMV of address changes within 10 days and name changes within 60 days. Renew your license before the expiration date. Late renewals can incur fees and ticket risk. Medical restrictions, such as corrective lenses, must be followed. Contact DMV if your condition changes. Restoring driving privileges. Pay all fines, civil penalties, and DRA fees before applying for reinstatement. Complete any required courses, PRP, alcohol education, or defensive driving before applying. Submit proof of insurance and a vision test report if requested by DMV. A new road test may be required after certain revocations or for commercial drivers. Chapter 2 Summary. Staying points-free, insured, and up-to-date keeps you confidently behind the wheel. Use courses and safe driving habits to prevent costly suspensions or revocations. In the next chapter, we'll explore vehicle equipment and inspection rules that support safe operation. Chapter 3. Owning a vehicle. Understand the paperwork, insurance, and maintenance that keep your car and you legal in New York. Use these highlights to review Chapter 3 swiftly and accurately. Vehicle registration and title. Title proves ownership. Registration allows legal road use, both issued by DMV. Registrations last 2 years and must be in the car. Titles arrive by mail for safekeeping. Driving an unregistered vehicle or failing to show registration can result in fines. Insurance requirements. Liability minimums. $25K/$50K bodily injury, $50K/$100K death, $10,000 property damage. Policy must be from a New York licensed insurer and stay active. Lapses trigger plate suspension. Insurance ID card plus electronic proof are required when you first register the vehicle. Required safety equipment. Seat belts, brakes, lights, horn, mirrors, and wipers must function properly at all times. Front side windows and windshield tint must let in at least 70% of visible light. Oversized tires or lifts cannot raise bumper height beyond regulated limits. Annual safety and emissions inspection. Vehicles need a past inspection each year before the registration anniversary. 1996 plus models must pass OBD emissions. Failures block renewal until fixed and retested. Inspection stickers are color-coded and affixed to the lower left windshield. License plates and stickers. Display both plates, front and rear, clearly. Do not obstruct with covers or frames. Registration sticker goes on the windshield. Keep it current to avoid tickets. You may transfer plates to another vehicle you own through DMV transactions. Buying or selling a vehicle. Fill in the title with buyer, seller, date, and odometer reading. Keep a bill of sale for records. Buyer pays sales tax at DMV unless exempt. Plates stay with the seller unless transferred. Remove plates before handing over the vehicle. Surrender or transfer promptly. Odometer and vehicle history. Federal law requires truthful mileage disclosure for vehicles under 20 years old. Altering an odometer is a felony, punishable by fines and potential jail time. Use NVDIS or similar services to verify title status and past damage. Basic maintenance. Follow manufacturer schedules for oil, fluid, and filter changes to extend vehicle life. Maintain tire pressure and tread depth to improve safety and fuel economy. Replace wiper blades yearly and keep washer fluid topped to ensure clear visibility. Chapter 3 Summary. Proper paperwork, insurance coverage, and maintenance protect your investment and legal standing. Stay proactive with renewals and inspections to avoid fines or roadside breakdowns. Next, we'll cover traffic control devices that help regulate traffic flow. Chapter 4. Traffic Control. Discover how signs, signals, and pavement markings keep traffic flowing safely and predictably. Use this quick glance deck to nail Chapter 4's essentials for your test and daily driving. Traffic signs, shapes, and colors. Each sign shape and color category conveys its purpose before you read a word. Octagon equals stop, triangle equals yield, diamond equals warning, rectangle equals regulation or guidance. Recognizing patterns lets you react faster and more accurately on the road. Regulatory signs. Regulatory signs carry legal instructions such as speed limit, one way, and do not enter. Most are white rectangles with black or red symbols. Some iconic signs like stop are unique shapes. Failure to obey a regulatory sign is a moving violation that can add points to your license. Warning signs. Traffic control. Yellow diamonds alert you to curves, intersections, animal crossings, and other hazards ahead. Prepare by adjusting speed, lane position, or following distance as indicated. Orange versions appear in work zones, signaling heightened risk and stricter penalties. Destination, guide, signs. Green rectangular signs list exits, distances, and directions to communities and highways. They give early notice so you can choose the correct lane and avoid sudden moves. Overhead panels align directly above the lanes they govern. Follow arrow guidance carefully. Service and recreation signs. Blue signs mark services like gas, food, lodging, and hospitals at upcoming interchanges. Brown signs highlight parks, historic sites, and recreation areas for trip planning. Glancing early helps you exit smoothly without last-minute lane changes. Route markers. Interstate shields, state route silhouettes, and county pentagons identify numbered roadways. Even-numbered interstates run east, west, odd-numbered run north, south. Use route numbers with guide signs to navigate unfamiliar territory confidently. Traffic signals overview. Signals assign right-of-way at intersections using red, yellow, and green displays. Always obey a police officer's hand signals over any traffic signal if they conflict. Pedestrian countdowns and audible cues coordinate with vehicle signals for shared safety. Study signal lights. Study red, stop fully. Right on red is allowed after stopping unless a sign forbids it. Study yellow, clear the intersection if too close to stop safely. It warns red is imminent. Study green, go if clear, yielding to vehicles and pedestrians still in the intersection. Flashing signals. Flashing red equals a stop sign. Proceed only when the way is clear. Flashing yellow means slow and proceed with caution through the intersection. Flashing signals often draw attention to high-risk locations or mid-block crossings. Lane use control signals. Overhead signals show a green arrow for open lanes and a red X for closed lanes. A steady yellow X warns the lane will close soon, merge when safe. These systems manage reversible lanes, tunnels, bridges, and toll facilities. Arrows and protected turns. Green arrows provide a protected turn with no opposing traffic conflict. A red arrow prohibits turning until it changes. Do not turn against a red arrow. When the arrow ends, turns become unprotected and you must yield to oncoming traffic. Lane markings, lines, and colors. White lines separate traffic moving the same direction. Yellow lines divide opposite flows. Broken lines allow passing or lane changes. Solid lines discourage or forbid crossing. Double solid yellow lines mean no passing for either direction. Pavement symbols and diamonds. Painted arrows show required or permitted lane movements approaching intersections. A white diamond marks lanes reserved for HOV, buses, or bicycles as posted. Large word markings like school or stop bring critical conditions to your attention early. Work zone traffic control. Orange signs, cones, barrels, and flaggers guide drivers safely through construction areas. Work zone speed limits carry doubled fines and possible license points. Merge early, maintain safe following distance, and watch for workers and equipment. Chapter 4 Summary. Reading signs, signals, and markings quickly keeps you compliant and collision-free. Commit the shapes, colors, and light patterns to memory for instant recognition. Chapter 5. Intersections and turns. Intersections are where traffic paths cross. Clear rules keep everyone moving safely. Sharpen these turning techniques and right-of-way cues to breeze through every junction. Right-of-way at intersections. Yield to the vehicle that arrives first. If you arrive together, the driver on your right goes first. Always yield to pedestrians legally in a crosswalk, even when you have the green. Emergency vehicles with lights or sirens take priority, pull over and stop until they pass. Controlled intersections, signs, and signals. Obey traffic lights and stop signs over any right-of-way rule unless directed by a police officer. Red means stop. You may turn right on red after a full stop unless signs forbid it. A green arrow provides a protected turn. Oncoming traffic has a red or red arrow. Four-way stops. Come to a complete stop at the stop line or before the crosswalk. Proceed in the order of arrival. If two vehicles stop together, the one on the right goes first. Make eye contact and use hand signals if necessary to confirm intentions. Left turns. Yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Keep wheels straight until beginning the turn. Turn from the leftmost lane into the leftmost lane in your direction of travel. A flashing yellow arrow allows an unprotected left turn. Proceed only when the way is clear. Right turns. Signal at least 100 feet before the turn. Slow down and stay close to the right curb. Yield to bicyclists and pedestrians crossing your path before completing the turn. Turn into the rightmost lane of the road you enter to avoid cutting across traffic. Turns on red. Right turn on red is permitted after stopping unless a no turn on red sign is posted. Left turn on red from a one-way street into a one-way street is allowed when no sign forbids it. Yield to all other traffic and pedestrians before turning. Traffic circles and roundabouts. Yield to traffic already in the circle. Enter when there is a safe gap. Drive counterclockwise and do not change lanes inside the circle. Signal right as you approach your exit and watch for pedestrians in crosswalks. U-turns and three-point turns. U-turns are illegal in business districts, school zones, and where signs prohibit them. Make a three-point turn only when the road is too narrow for a U-turn and traffic is light. Always signal and check mirrors and blind spots before each maneuver. Two-way left turn lanes. Blind spots before each maneuver. Enter the center lane just before the turn. Do not use it for passing or accelerating. Yield to vehicles already in the lane coming from the opposite direction. Complete your turn as soon as oncoming traffic clears. Do not linger in the lane. Chapter 5 Summary. Mastering intersection etiquette and precise turns prevents crashes and keeps traffic flowing. Signal early, yield when required, and steer smoothly to stay predictable to others. Next, we'll cover passing, lane changes, and overtaking strategies for multi-lane travel. Chapter 6. How to pass. Learn the correct, lawful steps for overtaking slower vehicles on multi-lane and two-lane roads. Use these guidelines to keep every pass smooth, efficient, and collision-free. Safe passing basics. Pass only when the maneuver is legal, necessary, and you have a clear view of oncoming traffic. Signal, check mirrors, and glance over your shoulder before moving into the passing lane. Accelerate smoothly to complete the pass without lingering in the opposing lane. When not to pass. Never pass within 100 feet of an intersection, railroad crossing, bridge, tunnel, or viaduct. Do not pass where signs read no passing zone or where there is a solid yellow line on your side. Avoid passing in bad weather, heavy traffic, curves, or hills that limit sight distance. Passing on the left. Left lane passing is standard on two-lane roads. Move completely into the opposite lane. Maintain a safe margin alongside the vehicle you're overtaking. Don't cut back too soon. Return to your lane only when you can see the entire front of the passed vehicle in your mirror. Passing on the right. Allowed on multi-lane roads or when the other driver is making a left turn and there's room to the right. Keep all four wheels on the pavement. Never drive on the shoulder to pass. Be alert. Drivers don't expect to be passed on the right and may drift or turn unexpectedly. Being passed. Stay in your lane and maintain a steady speed. Don't accelerate to block the pass. If safe, move right to give extra clearance on multi-lane roads. At night, dim high beams early to avoid blinding the passing driver's mirrors. Passing large vehicles. Since after you file the change. Large trucks and buses have bigger blind spots. Pass quickly and on the left where visibility is better. Allow extra space when merging back. Large vehicles need longer to slow down. Never cut off a truck. Their longer stopping distance can lead to rear-end collisions. Passing bicyclists and motorcyclists. Give bicyclists at least 3 feet of clearance, more at higher speeds. Motorcycles accelerate quickly, ensure enough distance before pulling back into lane. Be cautious of wind blast that can destabilize lighter vehicles. No passing zone signs and markings.
A solid yellow line on juurside or double solid yellow lines prohibit passing.
Pennant-shaped yellow no passing zone signs appear on the left side of two-lane roads. Obey pavement words no pass and hill or curve warning signs indicating limited sight ahead. Returning to your lane. Signal right and check your inside mirror. Ensure you can see both headlights of the vehicle you passed. Glance over your right shoulder before re-entering to confirm the lane is clear. Cancel your signal and resume a safe, following distance from vehicles ahead. Chapter 6 Summary. Successful passing relies on clear sight, legal zones, decisive action, and courteous cooperation. Signal, scan, accelerate, and merge back smoothly to minimize conflict and surprises. Next, we'll explore parallel parking. Chapter 7. Parallel parking. Mastering parallel parking proves you can control your vehicle precisely in tight urban spaces. Follow these step-by-step techniques to glide into any curbside spot with confidence. Choosing a parking space. Select a space at least 5 to 6 feet longer than your vehicle for comfortable clearance. Scan for hydrants, driveways, or time-restricted signs before committing. Signal right as you approach so drivers behind understand your intent to park. Approach and initial position. Stop parallel to the car ahead of the space, 2 to 3 feet out, bumpers aligned. Keep wheels straight and shift to reverse while keeping foot on brake. Check traffic, mirrors, and blind spot before you begin backing. Backing and first turn. Begin reversing slowly. Turn steering wheel sharply toward the curb when your rear bumper clears the car ahead. Watch the curb and right mirror to judge distance. Control speed with gentle brake pressure. Continue until your vehicle forms a 45 degrees angle and front bumper clears the vehicle ahead. Straightening the vehicle. Turn steering wheel sharply away from the curb while continuing to back slowly. Stop when your vehicle is parallel to and 6 to 12 inches from the curb. Center the car between the vehicles in front and behind, leaving equal space. Securing the parked vehicle. Shift into park or first gear for manuals and set the parking brake. Turn wheels toward the curb when parking downhill, away and roll gently into curb when uphill with curb. Check mirrors before carefully opening doors to exit. Leaving a parallel parking space. Reverse straight until your rear bumper clears the vehicle ahead's bumper. Signal left, check mirrors and blind spot, then turn wheels left and pull out smoothly. Accelerate to traffic speed and cancel your signal once fully in the lane. Common mistakes to avoid. Turning the wheel too late causes the rear tire to strike the curb. Steering too early leaves the car angled into traffic, requiring multiple corrections. Forgetting to signal or check blind spots endangers cyclists and passing vehicles. Relying only on a backup camera, always look over your shoulder as well. Practice tips. Set up cones in an empty lot to simulate vehicles and hone spatial judgment. Find a reference point, e.g., side mirror lining with parked car's bumper, to time your turns. Practice both sides of the street to build versatility for one-way roads. Chapter 7 Summary. Parallel parking blends observation, steering technique, and calm precision. Signal early, steer decisively, and use slow, steady motion for error-free curbside stops. Chapter 8. Defensive driving. Defensive driving means predicting hazards early and acting before trouble develops. These strategies build a safety cushion around your vehicle, cutting crash risk for everyone. The defensive driving mindset. Assume other drivers may make mistakes, plan an escape path at all times. Stay calm and patient. Aggressive emotions narrow judgment and slow reactions. Keep eyes moving, mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds and 12 to 15 seconds ahead down the road. Commit to zero distractions, focus entirely on the dynamic traffic scene. Scanning and hazard recognition. Use the search, evaluate, execute, see, process to spot, and prioritize hazards. Check mirrors before and after braking, turning, or changing lanes. Look beyond the vehicle ahead to anticipate sudden stops or debris. Watch roadside areas for children, animals, or parked cars about to enter traffic. Maintaining safe following distance. Apply the 3-second rule in good conditions. Double it in rain, snow, or night driving. Count after the vehicle ahead passes a fixed point. If you reach it sooner, you're too close. Increase space behind large trucks or buses that block your view of traffic ahead. A larger gap buys time for smooth braking and gives tailgaters room to pass. Speed and space management. Match speed to road, weather, and visibility, not just the posted limit. Slow before curves and hardened surfaces with reduced traction, gravel, wet leaves. Keep a side space cushioned by avoiding driving next to other vehicles for long periods. Adjust speed gradually to avoid startling drivers behind you. Communication and visibility. Signal at least 100 feet before turns or lane changes earlier on highways. Tap brakes before slowing suddenly to warn following drivers. Use headlights anytime wipers are on or when visibility is under 1,000 feet. Horn should be a friendly alert, not an expression of anger. Short tap beats a blaring blast. Dealing with aggressive drivers and road rage. Do not challenge or retaliate. Let the aggressor pass and create distance. Avoid eye contact and gestures that may escalate hostility. If followed, drive to a police station, open business, or call 911. Never lead them to your home. Report extreme aggressive behavior with vehicle description and location when safe. Avoiding distractions. Handheld phone use and texting are illegal. Even hands-free calls split attention. Secure pets and loose cargo to prevent sudden interference with driving controls. Program GPS and adjust climate or audio settings before moving. Treat drowsiness as a distraction. Microsleeps can last long enough to cause a crash. Managing fatigue. Plan breaks every 2 hours or 100 miles on long trips. Walk, stretch, and hydrate. Share driving duties if possible. A 20-minute nap is more effective than caffeine alone. Watch for yawning, wandering thoughts, or difficulty keeping eyes open. Signs to stop now. Avoid heavy meals and alcohol before driving. Both promote drowsiness. Night driving strategies. Use high beams on open roads. Dim them within 500 feet of oncoming vehicles or 200 feet when following. Look to the right edge line to avoid being blinded by oncoming headlights. Keep windows, mirrors, and headlights clean to reduce glare and improve visibility. Reduce speed to compensate for shorter sight distance. What you can't see can hurt you. Adverse weather and low traction conditions. Slow down and increase following distance on wet, icy, or snow-packed roads. Turn on low-beam headlights in fog. High beams reflect and worsen glare. Avoid cruise control on slippery surfaces. You need instant throttle response for traction. Steer and brake gently to prevent skids. Sudden inputs break tire grip. Skids, hydroplaning, and emergency maneuvers. If rear wheels skid, steer gently in the direction you want the front to go. Steer into the skid. Ease off accelerator and avoid hard braking during hydroplaning. Wait for tires to regain contact. For ABS-equipped cars, press brake firmly and steer. For non-ABS, pump brakes to avoid lockup. Practice emergency lane changes in an empty lot to build muscle memory. Work zones and incident areas. Orange signs, cones, and flaggers override normal traffic rules. Follow their instructions. Slow to posted work zone limits. Fines and points often double. Merge early when lane closures are announced. Late merges cause sudden braking chains. Watch for workers, uneven pavement, and temporary or narrowed lanes. Sharing the road safely. Large trucks need wide turns and longer stopping. Avoid lingering in blind spot no zones. Give motorcycles a full lane and add extra following distance. They may downshift or brake suddenly. Bicyclists are legal road users. Pass with at least 3 feet clearance and at safe speeds. Yield to pedestrians in marked and unmarked crosswalks. Expect them even when unseen. Railroad crossings and school buses. Slow look and listen before tracks. Never depend solely on gates or signals. Stop at least 15 feet from tracks when lights flash or gates lower. Never drive around them. Stop for school buses with flashing red lights on both 2-lane roads and multi-lane highways without a median. Remain stopped until lights stop flashing and the stop sign arm retracts. Wildlife and rural road hazards. Scan ditches and tree lines at dawn and dusk for animal movement. If an animal crosses, expect more. Dare travel in groups. Brake firmly. Do not swerve into oncoming lanes or off the road. Use high beams when safe to increase eyeshine visibility. Chapter 8 Summary. Defensive drivers see hazards first, leave space, and keep emotions in check. Apply these tactics every trip to turn potential surprises into routine, safe adjustments. Chapter 9. Alcohol and other drugs. Impairment starts with the first drink or dose. This chapter shows how substances sabotage safe driving. Learn the facts, laws, and life-saving choices that keep roads free of drug and alcohol-related crashes. Alcohol's effect on driving. Even small amounts slow reaction time, blur vision, and dull judgment, skills essential for safe driving. Alcohol is a depressant. It reduces coordination and the ability to track moving objects. Drivers often overestimate their abilities while underestimating how quickly impairment occurs. There is no way to sober up quickly, only time removes alcohol from the bloodstream. Blood alcohol concentration, BAC. BAC measures grams of alcohol per deciliter of blood. 0.08% is the per SC legal limit for drivers greater than or equal to 21. At 0.05%, many show reduced coordination. By 0.08%, crash risk is 4 times greater than sober. Body weight, gender, rate of drinking, and food intake all influence BAC rise. Cold showers, coffee, or exercise do not lower BAC. Only the liver metabolizes alcohol, 1 drink/hour. Drugs and driving. Prescription, OTC, and illegal drugs can impair alertness, attention, and motor control. Common culprits: opioids, benzodiazepines, antihistamines, and cannabis. Combining drugs with alcohol multiplies impairment. Effects are often unpredictable. Read medication labels. May cause drowsiness is a red flag for driving. Implied consent and chemical testing. By driving in New York, you consent to breath, blood, urine, or saliva tests for alcohol and drugs. Refusing a chemical test triggers license revocation, minimum 1 year, and a civil penalty. Police may require a test after probable cause from field sobriety or odor/alcohol evidence. Commercial drivers face stricter standards, 0.04% BAC limit, and longer disqualifications. Penalties for DWI and DWI. First offense DWI, 0.08 plus, fines, $500 to $1,000, up to 1 year jail, and at least 6-month revocation. DWI alcohol, 0.05 to 0.07%, carries fines up to $500, up to 15 days jail, and 90-day suspension. Higher BAC, 0.18 plus, is aggravated DWI, $1,000 to $2,500, fines, and 1 year revocation. Repeat convictions within 10 years escalate to felonies with multi-year revocations. Zero tolerance law, under 21. Drivers under 21 with BAC 0.02 to 0.07% face a 6-month suspension and $125 civil penalty. A second zero tolerance violation leads to at least 1 year or until age 21 revocation. Underage DWI, 0.08 plus, triggers the same criminal penalties as adult drivers plus youthful offender fees. Purchasing or attempting to purchase alcohol with a fake ID adds further license suspensions. Ignition interlock and conditional licenses. Courts require ignition interlocks for at least 6 months on DWI convictions. Drivers blow to start the car. Tampering or asking someone else to blow is a separate misdemeanor. A conditional license allows limited travel, work, school, but is void if any alcohol is detected. Failure to install or violations extend interlock periods and suspension length. Designated drivers and alternatives. Plan ahead. Choose a sober driver, rideshare, taxi, or public transit before drinking begins. Hosting? Offer non-alcoholic drinks and stop serving alcohol well before guests leave. Take keys from intoxicated friends, better awkward than tragic. If you drink unexpectedly, stay the night or wait several hours before considering driving. Myths and misconceptions. Myth: I'm only buzzed. Reality: buzz driving is drunk driving. Impairment starts at the first drink. Myth: beer is safer than liquor. Reality: standard drinks, beer, wine, spirits, contain equal alcohol. Myth: experienced drinkers can handle their liquor. Reality: tolerance masks, but does not reduce impairment. Myth: coffee sobers you up. Reality: it only makes a drunk driver more awake, not less impaired. Recognizing impaired drivers on the road. Erratic speed, weaving, or delayed starts at green lights signal possible impairment. Headlights off at night, tailgating, or wide turns are additional red flags. Keep distance, avoid passing, and call 911 with vehicle description and location if safe. Never attempt to stop or confront a suspected impaired driver yourself. Chapter 9 Summary. Alcohol and drugs erode every driving skill, vision, judgment, reaction time, and coordination. NY's strict penalties and interlock rules aim to deter impaired driving, but prevention starts with you. Chapter 10. Special driving conditions. From blizzards to blowouts, this chapter preps you for the unusual scenarios every driver meets someday. Know these tips now so you can handle the next curveball road and weather throw at you. Night driving. Reduce speed to match limited sight distance. Hazards appear suddenly beyond headlight range. Use high beams on open roads, dim within 500 feet of oncoming traffic or 200 feet when following. Clean headlights, windshield, and mirrors often to minimize glare and improve clarity. Shift eyes to the right edge line if oncoming lights dazzle your vision. Driving in rain and fog. Turn on low-beam headlights and wipers at the first sign of rain or mist. High beams worsen glare. Increase following distance to at least 6 seconds. Wet roads double stopping distance. Avoid rapid steering, acceleration, or braking to prevent hydroplaning and skids. If visibility drops below 100 feet in fog, pull off the road to a safe area until conditions improve. Winter and ice conditions. Slow down and make gentle inputs. Abrupt moves break tire traction on snow and ice. Clear all windows, mirrors, and roof of snow before driving to avoid flying debris. Carry emergency supplies, blanket, shovel, sand or kitty litter, and a charged phone. Bridges and overpasses freeze first. Approach them with extra caution. Skids and recovery. Rear wheel skid. Ease off accelerator and steer gently in the direction you want the front to go. Front wheel skid. Release brake/accelerator until tires regain grip, then steer back on course. Avoid slamming brakes in a skid. ABS lets you brake firmly while steering. Practice skid recovery in a safe, open area to build muscle memory. Mountain and hill driving. Use lower gears to control speed on long descents, save brakes from overheating. Sound horn on narrow, blind curves to alert opposing traffic if no center line exists. Stay right when cresting hills in case of oncoming vehicles straddling the center. Watch engine temperature on extended climbs and pull over if gauge rises. Work zones and incident areas. Orange signs and flaggers override normal rules. Follow their signals immediately. Reduce speed to posted work zone limits. Penalties often double for violations. Merge early when lanes close. Zipper merge only where directed by signs or flaggers. Stay alert for uneven pavement, equipment, and workers close to traffic lanes. Rural roads and gravel surfaces. Expect hidden driveways, farm vehicles, and loose livestock beyond every curve. Gravel reduces tire grip, allow longer braking distance, and steer gently. Use headlights during dusk/dawn even in clear weather for visibility over hill crests. Watch for soft shoulders. A tire drop-off requires slow, steady return to pavement. Expressway emergencies. If you must stop, move completely onto the shoulder, activate hazard lights, and stay in the vehicle. Place reflective triangles 10 feet and 100 feet behind car if available. Stand well away from traffic. Never attempt repairs on the traffic side. Call roadside assistance or law enforcement. Use the right shoulder for breakdowns. Median shoulders are riskier due to high-speed left lanes. Tire blowouts and brake failure. Blowout. Grip wheel firmly, ease off gas, steer straight, allow car to slow, then brake gently. Brake failure. Pump brakes rapidly. Downshift to lower gear. Use parking brake gradually. If stopping is impossible, steer into an open area or soft shoulder rather than hitting vehicles. Have vehicle towed. Don't attempt to drive after major mechanical failure. Animal and debris avoidance. Scan road edges for animal movement, especially at dawn/dusk. Deer travel in groups. Brake firmly. Do not swerve into oncoming traffic or off the road. Grip wheel in case of hitting small debris. Sudden jerks can cause loss of control. Report large debris or injured animals to authorities once safe. Flooded roadways. Turn around. Don't drown. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock a person over. 12 inches can float a car. Water hides washouts and debris. Vehicle electronics and engines may fail when submerged. Abandon vehicle and move to higher ground if water rises around you. After driving through water, test brakes gently to dry them before resuming speed. Emergency vehicles and funeral processions. Yield right-of-way to emergency vehicles with lights/sirens by pulling to the right and stopping. Remain at least 200 feet behind a responding fire apparatus or ambulance. Do not cut through an organized funeral procession, even if traffic signals change. Some states allow emergency service tow trucks the same priority. Stay alert for blue or amber lights. Chapter 10 Summary. Unusual conditions demand slower speeds, wider cushions, and calm focus. No autopilot allowed. Prepare your vehicle, study these techniques, and you'll navigate storms, skids, and surprises like a pro. Chapter 11. Sharing the road. Roads are for everyone, drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, and big rigs alike. These rules help you respect each user's space so traffic flows safely and smoothly. Pedestrians. Yield to pedestrians in both marked and unmarked crosswalks even if the light turns green. Stop at least 10 feet before a crosswalk when another vehicle is stopped ahead of you. In school zones, reduce speed and watch for children darting between parked cars. Blind pedestrians with a white cane or guide dog always have absolute right-of-way. Never block a sidewalk when exiting driveways. Pedestrians should not step into the street. Bicyclists. Bicycles are legal vehicles. Give at least 3 feet, more at higher speeds when passing. Check mirrors and blind spots before turning right to avoid right-hooking a cyclist. Never sound your horn needlessly. It can startle a cyclist into traffic. Bicyclists may use the full lane when hazards or narrow width make sharing unsafe. Expect sudden swerves for potholes or debris. Leave extra space. Motorcyclists. Motorcycles accelerate and brake quickly. Allow a 4-second following distance. Look twice at intersections. Small profile makes bikes easy to overlook. Never share a lane beside a motorcycle. They need the whole lane for maneuvering. Watch for turn signals that do not self-cancel. Assume the rider may forget. Wind gusts from large vehicles can push a motorcycle past with steady speed. Large trucks and buses. Avoid no-zone blind spots, directly behind, beside the right door, and along both trailer sides. Give trucks extra room to turn. Right turns may start from the center or left lane. Maintain steady speed when passing. Do not linger alongside tall trailers. Allow at least 4 seconds following distance. Trucks take longer to stop. If you can't see the truck driver's mirrors, they can't see you. School buses. Stop for buses flashing red lights on both two-lane and multi-lane undivided roads. Remain stopped until the lights stop and stop sign arm retracts, even if children seem clear. On divided highways, only traffic following the bus must stop. Oncoming lanes may proceed. Passing a stopped school bus carries fines of $250 to $400 and 5 license points, first offense. Be extra vigilant in the morning and mid-afternoon when buses are most active. Emergency vehicles. Move right and stop when you see flashing lights or hear sirens. Do not block intersections. Stay at least 200 feet behind a responding fire apparatus or ambulance. On limited access highways, slow and change lanes away from stopped emergency vehicles. Move over law. It is illegal to follow within 500 feet of an active police pursuit. Slow-moving and farm vehicles. Orange reflective triangle equals vehicle travels less than or equal to 25 miles per hour. Anticipate wide turns and sudden stops. Pass only when safe and legal. Be ready for unexpected debris or animals in the roadway. Farm vehicles may cross the center line to avoid low tree limbs. Slow and yield as needed. Do not honk. Large machinery is often loud and drivers wear hearing protection. Horse-drawn vehicles and equestrians. Reduce speed, pass wide and slow. Sudden noises can spook horses into traffic. On curves or hills, wait until you can see the entire road ahead before overtaking. At night, watch for reflective gear or limited lighting on buggies. State law treats horseback riders like pedestrians. Yield when in doubt. Work zone and utility workers. Flaggers and temporary signs override normal right-of-way rules. Follow their signals immediately. Reduce speed, avoid distractions, and move over when workers or equipment are on the shoulder. Fines and points double for violations in active work zones. Expect sudden stops or lane shifts near roadside utility crews. Vulnerable road users law. Better awkward than tragic. New York's VRU law increases penalties for injuring pedestrians, cyclists, highway workers, and others. Drivers must exercise due care, extra caution, and safe speed near vulnerable users. Failure to comply can result in license suspension and possible jail time. Always anticipate unpredictable movements from non-motorized road users. Chapter 11 Summary. Safe roads depend on courtesy and space. Treat every user as fragile cargo. Look twice, slow down, and pass wide. The seconds you save are never worth a life. Review these principles often to stay alert and respectful on every trip. Chapter 12. If you are in a traffic crash. Knowing what to do in the stressful moments after a collision protects lives, licenses, and wallets. These steps guide you through safety, legal duties, and smooth recovery. Immediate safety actions. Stop at once. Leaving the scene is a crime, even for minor damage. Turn on hazard lights. Move vehicles from traffic only if no one is injured and cars are drivable. Check yourself, passengers, and others for injuries before assessing vehicle damage. Call 911 for any injury, fire, or if vehicles cannot be moved. Rendering aid. Provide reasonable assistance. Call EMS. Apply basic first aid within your skill level. Do not move seriously injured persons unless fire or traffic danger forces it. Keep crash victims warm and calm. Avoid giving food or drink. Alert responders about unconscious or bleeding individuals for priority care. Exchanging information. Give and receive names, addresses, phone numbers, license numbers, plate numbers, and insurance details. Note vehicle make, model, year, color, and VIN if possible. Collect names and contact info of all witnesses and passengers. Take photos of positions, damage, skid marks, and road conditions if safe. Reporting requirements. New York law. File M104 within 10 days if injury, death, or property damage greater than $1,000. Police must be notified immediately for any injury, death, or property damage to a parked vehicle without owner present. Failure to report can suspend your license and registration. Keep a copy of the report for insurance and legal needs. Unattended vehicles and property. If you strike a parked car or property, stop and try to locate the owner. If unable, leave a written note with contact and plate info and notify police. Document damage with photos to support your statement. Leaving without notice is hit and run. Penalties include fines, points, and possible jail. Collisions involving animals. Stop and try to locate the owner for domestic animals. Call police if none found. Report deer or large wildlife collisions to law enforcement. Carcasses may pose hazards. Do not approach wounded wild animals. They can be dangerous. Your comprehensive insurance may cover animal strikes. File promptly. Towing and repairs. Use a licensed tow service. Verify fees before hookup. Predatory towing is illegal. Remove valuables before the car is towed and note the yard location. Choose repair shops carefully. Get written estimates and keep all receipts. Insurer may direct you to preferred shops but cannot force your choice. Insurance claims process. Notify your insurer within 24 hours. Delays risk denial of coverage. Provide photos, police report number, and witness info to expedite claim. Keep copies of medical bills, rental car receipts, and repair invoices. Expect an adjuster inspection. Do not sign releases until all injuries and damages are known. Crash prevention review. Most crashes involve distraction, speed, or following too closely. Review defensive driving habits. Post-crash, consider a driver improvement program to refresh skills and reduce insurance points. Correct vehicle defects promptly. Worn tires and brakes extend stopping distance. Stay rested and sober. Fatigue and alcohol remain top contributors to collisions. Chapter 12 Summary. Stay calm, secure safety, call help, share information, and follow legal reporting rules. Document thoroughly for insurance and legal protection, then focus on preventing the next crash. Review the entire handbook regularly. Knowledge and vigilance are your best crash insurance.